Okay, you're reading the Noose paper with me, and the reason it's a newspaper is that it's a noose around your neck, and a noose around your neck does not allow you to breathe, does not allow you to have life, and therefore suffocates you, and your brain is done. So when you read a newspaper, your brain is done. You can't breathe. You can't get real life. Now, this is an article about the removal of statues in Richmond, Virginia, those who were in the so-called Confederate Army. Keep in mind that the whole Civil War was just one big hoax, and both sides were hoaxing, but according to the history presented to people in textbooks, in the educational system, is that the South was in favor of slavery and the North wanted to abolish it. But the real issue, if there was an issue, was the sovereignty of a state. And indeed, yes, the southern states did have it correct. They were permitted to, quote, leave the Union under the Articles of Confederation. So even if you follow the hoax history, the Confederate States were well within their confines to want to withdraw from the Union. And basically what happened was a great oppression came upon the South. So to remove any statue of the Confederacy is really not an acceptable thing to do, because ultimately each and every one thought about states' rights. And then, of course, the invasions took place from the north into the south. So the northern blue Union Army were actually invaders in a territory. However, that history is not presented. And it's never mentioned that Uncle Tom's Cabin was a fictional book. It was not exactly what took place. However, to remove a statue doesn't really resolve the idea that every state had the ability to remove itself from the Union. In fact, there are many that still advocate that every state in and of itself is sovereign, and that it is the sovereignty of the state that still prevails, and that most of what was done through the so-called Civil War did not really accomplish what they said it accomplished. In other words, you still are a member of a sovereign state in whichever state or commonwealth you live in, and that the idea of being a citizen of the United States places you in great slavery. So it's kind of the opposite of what was taught, that the Civil War freed people from slavery. In reality, it made everyone a slave, because all citizens came under the power of the federal government. And in a way, it removed the sovereignty of the state by acknowledging U.S. citizenship rather than acknowledging the sovereignty of a state. So removal of a statue is a way of saying you'll never ever uncover the true history of the land. You will not be permitted to go there. You will never be permitted to think that, yes, even in the hoax-lie system, the Confederate States had it right. Every state had the right and the ability to withdraw from a union according to the Articles of Confederation. Now, that is not taught. The only thing that is taught is a false history. So here you have it, removing all these statues of the Confederacy, is a way of saying you will never uncover the true history, future generations. You will only know a hoax history. So if the Confederate statues are removed, then in all honesty, all the Northern Union statues should be removed too. So I'd like to thank you for watching as I'm trying to analyze the Noose paper, because it puts a noose around our necks. This is the end of the video.